Today, we're going to talk about the trading sessions. Remember, Forex is a 24 to 5 hour business. The reason why it is a 24 to 5 hour business, it's because of the trading sessions that we have when we are trading. When we are trading with the trading sessions, we are looking at the major trading centers that we have from different continents, such as we look at major trading centers in Asia, we look at major trading centers in North America, we look at major trading centers in Europe, most importantly those three, and that's where we originally get these trading sessions. Technically, we have 3 trading sessions, but when you look at the major trading centers, there are 4. We're going to get the reason as to why we have 4 of these. First, I've made this a bit more clear because I'm creating this video specifically for Ugandans, but also for the people that are outside Uganda, that is Europe. In other words, this time round I considered guys from Europe. That's why I literally had to create time zones relative to our trading sessions for both Ugandans and in Europe. So we're going to look at which particular pairs you're supposed to trade during which time, and during this time or during another period of time, which ones you're supposed to trade. And I converted them for both the European guys and the Ugandan guys. First and foremost, I will look our best at I made sure that this table or this side or this column represents the trading guys, the trading session. Sorry, this one shows the trading session like you see it. The time here in this column represents the guys in the time and the time you're supposed to trade when particular markets or trading sessions open for Ugandan time. And I also made sure I created a column as well for guys in Europe, for those of you that can directly convert the time when they are in Europe and they would literally want to use this. First, I've talked of the first trading session that we have, which is the Sydney session. When you look at Sydney, Sydney is the capital city of Australia. Austria is relatively close to Asia, which makes it, or when you look at its trading session, is merely close to that of the Asian time, because there is a bit more clear, or they're a bit more closer to each other. So in Sydney, when it comes to Ugandan time, as we are already asleep in Uganda, the Sydney market is already opening. That's when we are closed. Oh, that's when we are already sleeping in Uganda. The Sydney guys are already open and they're already in the market. That is around 1 a.m. at night. Okay, they already opened, so they close at this time, which is at 1 a.m., which is 22 hours European time. This is where the markets do open for Sydney. Then this market closes Ugandan time at around 9 a.m. That's in the morning. By this time, when you notice, by this time we're already awake, and people are already out, are going for job, they are moving out for work, they are doing different activities that they're supposed to do. So by this time, we're already out and awake by this time, all of us in Uganda. So this is the when the Australian markets do open, or sorry, do close, for already us in Uganda, we're already awake. So the best appropriate pairs to be traded during this time should at least have Australia with them. That is an example, Australian dollar, which is the most appropriate pair to be traded, and any other pairs that do have Australia in them, such as the Australian dollar, then Australia JPY, and so on and so forth. Those pairs due to the fact that also by that time the Asian markets are also they are also awake. When you look at the difference between 1 and 3, it's a bit close with a difference of 2 hours, which means that as the Asian market, that's why we normally combine these two sessions, and we call them the Asian session. Are we together? This is referred to as the Asian. This is the Asian session. Are we together? Why? It's because the only difference they have is a difference of 2 hours. When the Australian guys open at 1, we wait for 2 hours and then the Asian guys open. The reason as to why we consider we call this Asia, it's because when you look at Tokyo is the capital city of Japan, and it's the capital or the main trading center in Asia. So this makes it the most active pair in this session is the Japanese yen, because Japan, or in Tokyo, they use majorly the Japanese yen. So by the time these two sessions move hand in hand, that's why we call them the Asian session. So it opens at 3, that's Ugandan time, and it closes at 11. Approximately that will be 00, or that will be midnight for the European guys, and it will then open. It will then close at 8. That is the Asian time. The next, immediately after the Asian session closing, we get another session, or another session opens. The session which we refer to as the London session or the UK session. Why? It's because the major trading center here in the European market, or in the European market, it's the UK or the London. In London trades the biggest volume of money and the biggest volume of traders. That's why it's also known as the capital of Forex. This is the only time whereby you will see so much and a lot of money that is flowing during this period of time. This is where you will see a lot of people coming with a lot of money, because this is where we have the capital of Forex, and that's where we have the biggest market, or the capital when it comes to Forex, which is the UK. We normally refer to as the European session. The best pairs to trade during this session are the euro, and all pairs that are having the euro, because it is basically based in the European continent, whereby we have the use of the euro, or the dominancy of the euro. Are we together? So during this period of time, the basic pairs to be traded are the pairs that are having the euro with them. We also need to trade pairs that are having the Great Britain pound in them. An example of the pairs that you can trade during this period of time will be Euro USD. You can trade GBP USD. All pairs that have at least all pairs should at least have the euro or the pound this time round. I'm not saying that when I talk of particular pairs to be traded in an appropriate trading zone, I'm not saying that the other pairs will not be moving. They will be moving, but I'm talking for people that are intraday traders. Intraday traders are the types of traders that come into the market and open and close their orders in that particular one day. So if you're looking out for the best pairs to trade, you need to first find out which time frame are you in and which pairs are you trading. So if you find out the trading session that you're in, it is also important that you choose pairs that move at the pace and will make you a lot of money, or that will make you enough pips such that you make and or close your orders in that particular day with good profits. Are we together? That's why I'm looking forward for the best pairs to be traded during this, or during each of the particular sessions. So the last session that we have, so we've said the European market opens at 11 a.m. That is Ugandan time. For those of you that are in Uganda, the markets or the European market or the most active session opens at 11 a.m. That's where most of all are. You realize that when these guys come into the market, you'll even feel the impact. For mechanical traders, we have a belief, or they are mechanical traders, or the mechanical traders have a belief that when markets are moving in a certain direction, as these guys come into the market, fact being that they have the biggest, or they are the capital, or they have the biggest numbers, will always change the market in the opposite direction. So for those of you that want to trade or want to do analysis or want to observe this, it's better you always observe the market when it clocks this, because we'll always feel the impact when the market or when the big guys come into the market. Those are the guys that are, those are the ocean, those are the sharks in the ocean. So which are the London guys. And then they close at around 7 p.m. whereby by this time in Uganda it is a bit dark. So the best pairs, I've told them to you. If you're in Europe, this market will open at 8 and it will close at 16 o'clock. So we go to our last session. Our last session is also known as the UK session or the American session. Remember, this is the session that covers the whole of North America. That's where we have the United States of America and the Canada and the Canada or the economy, the Republic of Canada. Whereby, when you look at these two, or when you look at this session, the main trading center in the US becomes New York. So this session is sometimes known as the US session or the New York session. Why? Because this is where we have the American guys coming to, or this is when the American guys wake up to start trading. We also feel the impact. Why? Being the fact that these guys are the first or have the biggest market in the world of Forex. They are again followed by the Americans. Then lastly are the Asian guys. So even them being the second guys makes also causes some impact in the market when they come in. Every time they try to come into the market, you will always feel the impact. So as we are about, or as we are about, or as we are closely, or as we are leaving our lunch, or after we've had our lunch, the American guys come in. The American guys do come in the market. That's at around 4 p.m. and they normally close out at 12. That is at night. 12 at night, which is midnight. So you realize that this market is having some bit of a cycle. It's having some bit of a cycle. It's having some bit of a cycle whereby it repeats this non-stop minus the market's closing. Are we together? Hence, concluding that the Forex market is 24/5 because of the different trading sessions that we have based upon the different different countries, different continents that we have, because for the fact being that when in this session people are sleeping, in the other session people are awake. That makes it a 24/5, which is an advantage when we are relating Forex with the other businesses. So this makes the US, the United States dollar, and Canadian dollar to be the widely most traded currencies in this. So if you're to choose, or if you're to trade during this time of the hour, you are supposed to choose pairs that at least have the dollar and pairs that at least have the Canadian dollar with them. So it's during this period, or during these two sessions, whereby we have the hot zone. The hot zone is the most time, or it's the time whereby we have or we expect a lot of movements in the market. The market is characterized by basically the sharp movements in the market with volatility and long candles. So this region, that is from around that's between 4 and 7, because during this time, because this closes at 7 and this one opens at 4, so between 4 and 7 is the hot zone. That's where we have the most volatility, the most strong movements in the market. So if you are willing, or if you are someone that trades news, I will literally teach you some videos of how you can trade news. So if you're to trade news, if you're to expect, or if you expect to make a lot of profits, these are the best time to trade, which is the trading zone. Thank you. For more questions and for more videos, please subscribe. Have a good day. Thank you.